would this get you hired at Google? That is the Google UX Design Certificate, and 3 years ago, I thought that that would get me hired, and surprise, surprise, that in fact did not get me hired at Google, but I did get hired at IBM, which is still pretty good. But today I'm going to dive into my thoughts on the certificate, if you should still take it in 2024, the pros, the cons, and hopefully it helps you out if you're considering transitioning to UX, or that should help you out if you're considering taking the course. And if you are new here, then hello, I'm Rich, and 3 years ago I transitioned over to UX design from graphic design. And on this channel I usually talk about design work, design life, design careers. If that sounds cool to you, like and subscribe. And if you need some career advice or mentoring, I have a super pure link down in the description, so book a call if you need to. So you might be living under a rock and you just don't know what the Google UX Design Certificate is. Well, it's a certificate that marks your completion of the Google UX Design courses. There's 7 courses, and you come away with 3 different projects and a basic to foundational to somewhat, you come away with like a foundational knowledge of UX design. I don't know the exact price of it. It's on Coursera. I think it's like $40 a month, but it also depends on how long it takes you to finish the design course. I've heard some people do it in like 2 months. It took me 6 months. However fast you are at reading and learning, then it's going to take you that amount of time to finish the course. But should you do it in the first place? Well, let's talk about some of the pros and cons of if you were to take that Google UX Design Certificate course. So some of the pros are that the content's really well made. Like, you can tell that they cared about the production of it, and they give you a lot of really good information that I think is worth having if you're just starting out in the UX design career. In some of the courses, they give you like external resources that I think are excellent. You should definitely take advantage of those. Go read them, bookmark them, learn the information that's there. It'll help you out later on in your design career or if you're interviewing. Another pro is they give you just free stuff. Like, who doesn't like free stuff? Back when I took it, I don't know what it is now. Back when I took it, they gave you free Figma license for a year. They gave you Adobe XD license. I don't think they do that anymore because Adobe XD is kind of but they gave you access to a job board, and then they also gave you access to Big Interview as well. Now, Big Interview was like my go-to for getting prepped to do interview stuff. This isn't sponsored by Google or any of these companies, but I think that they're very helpful and instrumental in getting me from graphic design to UX design. So you get great content, you get free stuff, and then you come away with 3 projects to put in your portfolio or portfolio. So those are some of the pros. So what are the cons? So some of the cons is that it's peer reviewed. So you aren't having actual Google experts or Google UX design experts or even managers or anybody from Google reviewing your work. It's just other people taking the certificate. Like, they could put crap comments, or they can give you crap reviews, or they can give you good reviews. It's kind of a toss up of what kind of feedback you're going to get. It's also very Google centered. I put this in the con category, although it's not that big of a con. So when I say it's Google centered, like, their methodology of doing things is really Google, like, it's Google stuff. But anywhere you end up, there's going to be some methodology or some way of working that you're going to have to learn. So I don't really think this is that big a deal. You're going to have to learn whatever methodology is at the current or at the place you end up at. So don't worry about that one. Another con is that it's kind of a lack of UI opportunity in the courses. So I'd say you have to supplement this with another course that focuses on visual design and UI design. I think give you a little bit of it just to like get you off your feet, but I think that there is an opportunity for you to do some UI design learning outside of this, which is fine. I think there's so much to learn in UI design and visual design that trying to pack all that in with UX design is just too much, and it'll make this course probably like a year or so long. I already knew visual design, so I just need to focus on the UX design, and then I focus on the UI design. It worked out for me. So, and again, while I didn't get into Google from taking this Google UX design, I didn't actually apply to Google after this. So who knows? Maybe I would have got in, but I ended up getting into IBM doing UX design on like a very entry level. But the bigger question is, will this get you into either Google or any big place, or just get you a job somewhere? Because that's kind of in this market the goal. I think a lot of that depends on you as an applicant, and then like where you applied, when you applied, who saw it, all these other factors. But I think the 3 things you kind of like think about is getting yourself out there. So networking, getting on Twitter, looking at your portfolio. Is your portfolio got a lot of good stuff in it? Well thought out. It doesn't have to have a lot in it. Just have like 2 or 3 things. I have a video actually on the presentation that I did for IBM based on the project that I did within the Google UX Design Certificate. So if you want to look at that, here's that video somewhere on the screen. I don't know. But also when thinking about, will this get me a job? It's like, well, what kind of job are you trying to get? If you're trying to get a junior level job or entry level job or an internship, it'll probably help you get that. And then I'll also say that the market right now for, I think anything that's entry level in tech, like your software engineers or your UX designers or your product designers, is a little harder to get into right now because the market is kind of bad. I'm sure that'll change, so who knows when it'll change. I think that if you need things to do while you're trying to apply to new things, and this is going to help you a lot. If I could go back and tell myself something, is that I would do as much as possible to make myself like desirable to companies. So if this is one of those things, if you can do it quick, get done quick. But I'll also say, make sure that you are actually like doing good work. Make sure your projects are really good, because that's what I did. I made sure my projects looked good. I made sure I thought through stuff. I made sure I actually applied what I learned in the courses into my actual projects, so then I could talk about them in my interview. It made me look like I knew what I was talking about. I kind of did, but I kind of didn't. So yeah, I think that you should take it. I don't know if it'll get you into Google. I don't know what kind of programs they have. They might have stuff for entry-level people or for interns that might work for this. Probably better if you live in wherever Google is. But anyway, I do think that it'll help you get something. And if not a role, you could do freelance stuff as well. So I think that you should definitely take it. However, there are a lot of other things out there. I'm not gonna list them here. So hop on Reddit, hop on like browse the internet, like at Twitter. There's a bunch of stuff out there that you might have to pay for. If you're a kind of person who can learn best by themselves, then this would be helpful for you. I would recommend this course for a beginner or for someone just looking to transition into it. I wouldn't do this if I have done 3 or 4 UX design certificates already, because I think you're only 1 or 2 to like, okay, I know the basics, I know the foundational stuff. So if you have already done 2, don't make this the 3rd. I hope this helps people decide whether or not they want to take the Google UX design certificate or not, if it's worth it for you or not. And yeah, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks.